first car I put over 100,000 miles on. That was a favorite car of mine. Rear-wheel drive. Winter times I'd have the studded snow tires on it, and it was okay with studded snows. But that was I remember the four-cylinder turbocharged engines. They were hot. I'll bet your wife loved that car.
Yeah, she always liked driving a stick, so she loved it. I think it was a five-speed, pretty sure. And I cut I didn't cut it, but I just pitched the turbo, the line that goes from vacuum to the turbocharger, and my God, it doubled the power of the engine. It literally doubled it. It was amazing, that little four-cylinder. Probably, I'm guessing it was making 200 horsepower anyway. You know, it really ran good. Yep, it was a good car. It wasn't a bad car at all. All the dealers are shysters. Every one of them's a shyster. You just simply can't go to a dealer anymore. You can't buy a car that you have to go back to the dealer. Some of these like Mercedes and stuff, they're all set up so you have to go to the dealer. You have to. No matter what goes wrong with it. And once you go to the dealer, you know, it's $1,500, $2,000, $5,000, $10,000 for everything. You know, it's crazy. Anyway, enough of that. N1 DVL. Anybody else in here? 10-3 RMR. Where are you, Mark? Must be talking on the other net. N1 DVL.
WD1M. Yeah, we might have bored them to death with the car stories, but I know I got long-winded. But it was a horrible. I'll tell you, not a lot of money. We're not talking about a lot of money. I'm talking, you know, you want to talk about principles. There are no principles when it comes to car dealerships. That's a fact. And I'll be honest with you, that's the reason I'm kind of getting a new truck is because this one comes with because it's got the diesel in it, it's a 100,000-mile powertrain warranty. So, I'll be protected. My Canyon diesel, I have had no issue, nothing. Just got to change the fuel filters in the right interval. I think it's 25 or 30,000 miles, and those are the big diesel fuel filters. There's two of them. They look like they're about twice as long as a regular screw-on oil filter is. But those, I have the dealer do that because not the dealer. I have a local garage, MGB Tire, that does simple things for me. Brakes, mufflers, those kind of things because they're fair. It's a small shop that's fair and has really young, smart guys there. You know, guys that would not work at a dealership because their talent is just pushed around. They don't get the respect that they deserve. So I like some of the there are some good small mechanics out there. There's some terrible ones too, but there's some good ones out there. But typically, when we've got the new cars all the time, we have to go to the dealer under warranty. But I learned a lesson there. That's one dealer I'd never buy anything from. I could have been looking for my truck with those guys. They lost for $140. I would not even look anyplace, and I have 16 employees, and I tell every one of them, don't ever go there. Don't go to Terryville Chevrolet. They're awful.
Yeah, well, about 10-15 years ago, GM went through all their dealers, and they knocked off about probably 30% of them. And all the ones they knocked off were dealerships like you're talking about. Because there was one here in the town of Wilbraham, and he was a notorious shyster for the last 40 years. And they didn't renew his contract, so he went out of business. Just like that. One day he's selling cars, the next day he's out of business. Just like that. And he had more complaints against him than anybody on probably 10 times more than any dealer around here. And they'll end up getting that too. You should complain though. You should have made a big stink. You should have gone to the other dealer and said, look, I want to talk to your what do they call it? The regional manager. And when the regional manager comes in, go show them what happened and tell them that they screwed me in. I want you to, do whatever you have to do. Write a report or whatever. But, these people shouldn't be in business. And eventually they'll get them. It might take 10 years, but they'll
issue. And I called first. They told me what to do to go online. I don't know if it ever went anywhere, but the problem was I went to a Chevy dealer with a Cadillac and they didn't deal in Cadillac. But that's not supposed. That should be neither here nor there. They're GM, Mr. Goodwrench. You're supposed to be able to go to any GM with any GM model, and they're supposed to be able to work on it. If they're not capable of working on your particular vehicle, they need to tell you that. No, it's like I said, I'm over it now. It happened. It actually happened in October. It happened in late September, early October. So, yeah, it's just one of those things. But my wife works with other teachers that buy at that same dealership. And I've got a brother-in-law that bought an Equinox there, and they've treated him good. So I don't know why I got the raw end. You think a local businessman that brings his wife's Cadillac in for an oil change, to have you check out a warranty item, they could have just said, "Hey, Mr. Kluge, we got, we're not going to touch the mirror. It's got a mark on it or something." They could have been way more tactful and diplomatic without any problem.
Yeah, definitely. I agree. So go ahead. Anybody else in here picking up? I forgot. Are you still running that Stag microphone?
Yeah, that's what I'm on now.
Okay. We had a guy come in here, 3 or 4 days ago out in Michigan, and he had a 101. Matter of fact, he had a 101 MT, and he had a Electro Voice microphone, an RE27 Electro Voice, going through one of those processors into the radio. I went berserk. I said, "Take that thing off and throw it in the trash right now. What the hell's wrong with it?" I said, how long you been a ham? I figured he was going to tell me a year. 50 years. I said, "Well, then you should know better than doing that. That's ridiculous." So he took it off. He listened, took it off. Randy emailed him a program, and he came back on the air, and he sounded better than anyone I've ever heard so far.
So it wasn't the microphone. You said he was going through one of those equalizer things with those junky little trash boxes.
Yeah. Can you imagine somebody putting one of those on a radio like you have?
Why would you do that? This radio's got way more technology invested in it than one of those, $59 trash boxes.
Hey, I'd like to know the answer to that too. This is a guy that's been a hand for 50 years. You would think he would know better, but like I said, that RE27, that Randy was just going to go buy one. Randy said, "I'm just going to buy an RE27. I said, "Well, Randy, why don't you at least give your PR40 a shot?" He goes, No. He said, that might sound that good. I said, It did sound good, but that's like a $480 microphone.
Wow, and that's dynamic, not a condenser?
That's an Electro Voice dynamic, and it's, like I said, that's their most expensive mic.
Yeah, okay. Yes, I haven't even checked any other ones. Like I said, this sounds good. And, you got to remember, Ray, most people don't hear themselves. They don't know what they sound like. They're, like right now, I'm operating with the speaker on, so I don't have the headphones on, so I don't know what I sound like. But, I know I'm running the line, and I have the special Toad Harbor. It's the Toad Harbor mic equalization file that I can load no matter what I do anyplace else. I can load it before I see the mic on this frequency.
Right. Well, eventually, believe me, once Randy gets that rig, and he has it for a few weeks, and he gets the right mic on it, you'll buy one.
I probably will. You're right. But I had my buddy in North Carolina has a 990, a TS 990, and he also has one of the newer Yaesu 1200, which is the sister radio to the 3000, to the FTDX 3000. And when we were playing around one night, we were visiting at his house, and he said to me, reservation. I got this $1,300 radio from Yaesu, and I have this $7,000 radio from Kenwood. He said, and listen to this. He had his antenna switches, and he was just running a 40-meter inverted V or something, or 80-meter inverted V. And he says, listen to this. He was switching, and the receivers, the 1200 actually had sounded louder. It seemed that the receiver was hotter in the 1200 than it was in his 990.
Yeah, well, that 1200's not that great a radio. They got lousy transmitters. They splatter like crazy. So, it's just a cheap radio. But put that 990 up near an AM broadcast station, and you'll see the difference right away, because those other radios will overload, and the 990 probably won't. But that 990 wasn't a great rig either. The 890 is way better.
Yeah, and they're still selling a 990, right?
Yeah, they're still selling it. I don't know who the hell would even buy it. The only person who would buy it is somebody who's just totally unaware of what it's way out of date.
Yeah, I'm sure they got something on the drawing board that's going to compete. I mean, I think Yaesu's selling more radios. All the guys were out when I bought this one. They were all out of them. This one came from DX Engineering. Everybody else was out of them.
And it's still that way now. Randy couldn't get one.
Yeah, the Ds were totally sold out. You couldn't find a 101D anywhere, but there were a couple MPs around because they're more expensive. They're $1,000 more, but what you get for the $1,000 is well worth it. You get the extra VC tune for the sub band, and you get 3 extra filters. So it's definitely worth it. If you were to buy that stuff individually, you'd pay about $1,500, and you have to send it back to have all that installed. They're not just plug-ins.